What's up, guys? Welcome to Peasant Chat number 3. It's all about consistency. So if we can get this Peasant Chat pop in every Sunday, 9:30 a.m., things are going to be good. And there is a question right off the bat that I want to answer. Robert Whedon, first question, said, "Good morning and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone." I'm not going to get too into it. Let's get right to the questions because it can get stupid. What fuel system setup is best for a 2015 Roush Supercharged GT with a 79 millimeter pulley, and he wants to go E85. Now, luckily, I went to the Four Innovations website, which is where you should go, or one of their dealers, Beefcake Racing, Power by the Hour, whatever. So if you go to their menu, they have a really nice tree here. So Ford, Mustang GT 2011 to 17, fuel system packages, dual pump systems. You don't need a triple unless you're making way over 1,000. And the level 1 right here seems to be, it says covers up to 800 rear wheel horsepower, right? And right here covers up to 1,200 rear wheel horsepower. So they tell you what it can cover. So if you look at it real quick, it does not have like the fuel rails or anything like that according to the photo, but it does have the wiring kit, the FC2 or FC3. Yeah, it's a FC2, which is, you know, 2 pumps. It's basically controlling 2 pumps. Regulator, filter, hat. I mean, and then you can upgrade the shit out of it. You can do fuels, you can do ethanol, then you can do which pumps are do you want? Do you want the 285, the 274, the 267? I have two 274s in the Fairmont, and it keeps up well into the 1,000 rear wheel horsepower range. I also have a single 285 in the third one, just in case I need to, swippity swap or add a third pump. This is the coolest thing, though, I found on this website. Check it out. Finally, maybe I'm late to the game, but Four Innovations is offering F-150 fuel systems. Thank you very much, Four Innovations. Finally, tacuaches don't have to mishmash, pish-posh bullshit their fuel system. They can just pick up a level 1, level 2, level 3, just like in Mustangs. And guys, you have to pay to play. If you don't got this kind of money and you're relying on the stimulus package, well, you're fucked. You're super fucked. So, Four Innovations, the website is easy to navigate, real easy. How's it going, guys? Heavy duty says says Yonce 50. I love heavy duty.
Oh yeah, heavy duty, heavy duty,
heavy duty. Okay, so have you guys started noticing all of a sudden parts cost $600? Did you guys notice the packages all of a sudden popping up on websites where guys are saying, hey, for this, you can buy that. And then all of a sudden there are $600 packages. Now, the funny thing is, I'm not a big fan of the politics of parts selling or predatory parts selling. But honestly, if you're stupid enough to spend your stimulus, if you are struggling, and you're stupid enough to spend your stimulus on car parts, God love you. There's nothing I can do for you. But when parts companies kind of make it a lot easier, meaning, hey, we got this package, these injectors, this, for exactly $600, it's no different than Walmart selling big screen TVs for $538 because after tax and all this bullshit, it is about $600. That to me reeks of just scraping the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. I think if you want to offer parts at a good price, you're good to go. You have predatory sales, like, oh, by the way, we just happen to have a fuel system for $1,200 or $2,000. Imagine if the stimulus goes up to $2,000 and all of a sudden you'll have $2,000 parts, and then pay really close attention to the parts that are in the kit. The parts that are in the kit previously were priced $750, $800. All of a sudden, they can just slash their margin and offer to you for $600. That means the part, in actuality, they're doubling or tripling. How do you get around minimum advertised pricing, which is MAP? How do you get around minimum advertised pricing? You don't advertise it. That's why when you go to a forum, when you go to Facebook, when you go anywhere, and a rep hits you up when you're talking about wheels, injectors, fuel systems, they go, PM me for info, because he cannot advertise the actual price because it is against MAP policy, minimum advertised pricing. The other way of getting around minimum advertised pricing is you make it a kit. You hide the price in a kit, and then you can discount it to about 3 cents above your cost just to get the sale, and you get around MAP policy that way. It's just mind-blowing if you pay attention to how parts people work, how predatory and bottom of the barrel and scumbaggy shit is. That's why I know a lot about the parts game, and that's why I shut my whore mouth, because it's politics. It's a bunch of politics, and I'm just like, oh my God, I was so happy to get out of the parts game. Sunday church service says Bronco Stang. What's up, brother? Morning, Alex. Just drop in and say hi. Thanks. Gotta roll. Vapor Fox. See you later. Have a good Sunday. Original SB says I have an 89 LX Mustang and I really want a small block 427 Ford in it. I was wondering what transmission should I use in it. I have a T5 and I want it face plated. Astro does make an A5, an Astro 5, which I think the torque rating is a little higher than a T5, but a 427 Ford, like if it's making 400 plus foot-pounds of torque, you're not going to live long unless that trans is insanely built. I honestly would shove a Tremec TKO 600 behind it if you can swing it. I know it sounds awful. Oh my God, the money, the clutch, the fork, the cable, the cross member. I know, I get it. But that T5 isn't going to last long if that 427 is making decent power. Nickel White says workflow out there with the barges and the tugboats. I think that's what he does. Yon Fiveohalex, have you tuned any Holley remote turbo setups on Coyote F-150? No, but I can't imagine it's any different than a Coyote truck, regular Coyote Mustang. The Holley doesn't know it's a truck. They care about where the cams are at, boost, KPH, fuel, watt lambda, or watt, they call it something different. It's totally different on Holley stuff. But Junior has tuned a couple of turbo setups, which I don't think he's a big fan of because it's open source. So for whatever reason, if Junior's not available and he has put hours and hours into your setup, and then you go to a track and you still haven't learned Holley or whatever fuel tech or whatever AEM shit you got, because that's really why you should have Holley. So you can make minor adjustments at the track and you don't rely on the tuner all the time, or for ease of use and have an internal boost controller, blah, 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 blah. But what happens is if Junior has, if Junior dares to go to like church with his family on Sunday when you're testing and tuning and you're mad that he's not available because you didn't schedule anything and you don't want to pay because, we work for free, right? They can go to another tuner that's at the track and get tuned by him, and he'll just, oh, here's more timing, or here's less boost off the hit, or here's more boost up top. And all of a sudden, all the work and all of the vetting that Junior has done back and forth with you is now gone, and now you got a guy at the track that adjusts it for you. He doesn't do the base file. He doesn't do it. He adjusts it for you, and then you jump ship because Junior dared to have a life. Yeah, it's you got to learn your own shit. If you get Holley, the reason, well, at least one of the reasons, in my opinion, to get Holley or any other standalone fuel system is so that you can adjust for track conditions that day. Because if we are adjusting everything all the time, why go with a Holley? Why not go with a Ford Racing Control Pack if we're always adjusting it? Fletcher says, are you guys doing anything with killer chiller meth so you can inject meth as a vapor and not an atomized liquid? Nope. We are not a parts company. Fletcher, we're not a parts company. We're not going to do any parts vetting. We're going to basically say, oh, you got some new injectors? Where's your data? Okay, we plop it in. It doesn't work? Okay, we don't recommend that shit. We don't got time. You're basically thinking we're going to vet parts, meth into a killer chiller, into a vapor. Oh my God, just throw E85 and boost at it, bro. A killer chiller and meth, why not just throw E85 at it and not worry about anything? The fastest cars that we tune are E85, no meth. Just, air to water and party. E-Rock says flat plane crank. Where did we get that hoodie? N-word, said Greg Salazar. I think it's Gapple Tees on Instagram. Let me see. Give him a shout out, my people. This is the Peasant Chat, so I might as well answer every question. I think it's Gapple Tees. Whoa, look at this girl. Holy shit. Woo! That girl is stacked as fuck. And I had her. Wow, she's hot. Woo, here we go. Gapple Tees. I think it's Gapple Tees. Yeah. Let me see. the thing is, it's not Gapple Tees per se, but if I follow him, why is he private? Who the fuck are you to be private? Let me just go like on a website, see. Gapplebee's hoodie. Could you imagine if I was like, why don't you just see, one has a turbo, the other one has an apple. So men's Gapplebee's, I think a lot of people have them. I wish I knew the guy's name specifically that got me these, but you can find, these have turbos on them. I don't want turbos on them. I want an actual apple to make it look authentic. Yeah, they all have turbos. Maybe it's a copyright thing. I'd have to, maybe if the guy is awake, he can give me a shout or hit me up on Instagram so I can give him a shout out as to where to get. He gave me Gapplebee's shirts, t-shirt, hoodies. It's super cool, dude. I love these. I wear this shit all the time. People at the gym look at me like, what the fuck are you wearing? You like Applebee's? I go, I like Gapplebee's. You should spend it all on porting. $2,000 on porting. Port everything. Did you see Mano Gomez looking at the GT500? 9.5 about to become 8s real quick. He'd be the first to go 8s. I know the quickest and fastest 2020 GT500 is owned by Evolution, and we tune it. Second quickest, I think, is a guy down here, down south. Third quickest is like everyone else because they all are stuck in 9.5. Ass Cheeks says, what the fuck did he say? Oh, dude, you're gone. The moment I went there, it went away. Isaias Davila. I don't care if it was a fake Indonesian scammer. You promised me $1,000. I'll call your employer. A lot of people hit me up that there was an Indonesian scammer friend requesting me as Yolo, friend requesting people as Yolo douchebag. I can't get rid of him. I do not control Facebook. Anyone can grab your stupid profile and friend request your friends and do scam shit. If you're stupid enough to think that I'm going to give away $1,000 on Facebook, you are a stupid ass motherfucker. Like ridiculously stupid. Oh, Yolo douchebag's going to give me $1,000. I'm not going to give you shit. If I'm going to give you anything, it'll be on this channel. If I do any giveaways, it will be here. Stupid. Oh, I friend requested Yolo douchebags. He's going to give away $5,000. I'm not one of those cuck ass YouTubers that does shit like that. Fuck out of here. Garrett Smith, I made a huge payday off electronic currency. Okay, very good. Genuine George, good morning. I love the peasant chat. It's fire. Care to discuss least respected vehicles? Least respected vehicles. That's a good one. Any Honda is there's no respect. Not any Honda. There's some Hondas that are legit fast. Frustrates car down here is stupid fast. But all in all, when you look at a Honda, the vast majority of guys that own Hondas, Honda Civics and stuff like that, are fucking douchebags, complete douchebags. Then it bled off into the Honda crowd. The Infinity. What's the one that looks like a 350 or 370Z, but it's not? It's like a Q something. I forget what it is, but that one became riced out because, you don't want to look like a Honda peasant, but you're an Infinity peasant. You're treating it exactly the same way. Hey, Alex, what was your first experience with being in a boosted car? Sitting in the passenger versus finally driving one for the first time. Any fun stories on that? Peter Craig, one of the most tremendous pieces of shit I've ever met in my life when I was young in the Mustang game. Peter Craig, a guy out of Southampton, Massachusetts. I'll call him out. Tremendous piece of shit. One of those Mustang guys that bought Mustangs and he sold you salvage title Mustangs at a discount. And when you are young, you don't know any better. You're stupid. You just want to get into the game. I remember I bought a notch off of him and the trans broke going up the hill home. And it took him a couple of months to get that shit fixed. I'm like, fuck you. And basically what he did is I raced him and he beat me and he had a notch and I had a GT that was heavier and he beat me and I was like, man, I want to buy that car. So I sold my car, bought his. But what happened? He gutted all the good parts out of it and sold me basically a piece of basically a stock 86 notch without the drive shaft. I think the gears, I think the trans, I think he took a bunch of shit out of it. Anyway, he ended up having an 89 or 90 coupe, white. It was like an 11.0, back then. It was moving. With an old school Holley non-intercooled supercharger. Just this big, dumb, not even, it's like a 1.5 liter supercharger on a 347 stroker. And the moment he got into boost, I heard this whining noise and I was like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's boost. And I was just like, wow, it was just weird how it threw you back in the seat. Then when I really got into a car that was like really fast was when I worked at, as a millwright. A buddy of mine had a GT500 and I couldn't believe how fast it was stock. I was like, oh shit, this thing moves out. And that's how I got hooked on superchargers, because it was instant horsepower. Not to say the turbos are super laggy, but it's not even close. The power delivery was quick, really quick on superchargers, and I was hooked on that. Every time I got in a turbo car, even if they're small turbos, this and this and that, when you stab the throttle, there was an inherent slight delay that you weren't, you know, when you're on a blown car, you've matted, tires are roasting, instant, wah, you know? Turbo cars are boo, wah, you know, it's like a slight delay, and I'm like, I can't control that good. And when you let off the gas, turbos seem to just stay spooled up for like a millisecond, and you don't feel like you're in control. A supercharged car, you let off, the fucking thing decels. So that's why I was hooked on that. Nick Vasquez said, oh, G37 and G35. Everyone's talking about the G35, G37. Basically, people that go from Honda, right? Like Honda racers. Go from you know, that to an Acura, and then they go to like an Infinity, and they make that riced out. And I'm like, you don't get it. You're still ricing the shit out of it. You know, like, yeah, that, I mean, it stands, and I mean, people must be like, yo, that's clean. And I'm like, okay, whatever. If you think this is clean, bro, me and you have nothing in common. I mean, that looks pretty good because it's not stanced out. But this is fucking stupid, and it's probably bagged. This is fucking stupid. He's got tire stickers. But yeah, people do this. They graduate. When you're a 21-year-old Honda racer, and then you go to become a 30-year-old guy, you get an Infinity G35, and you rice that shit. Oh, back in my day, the Corolla 1.8 was the ricer car, and that was like the thing to hook up. But this is how we hooked it up back in the day. Corolla 1.8s, un candonguito, you know, they were like this, and I was like, I'm okay with this. I am 100%. This is how us boys hooked up little candonguitos back in the day, you know? Back in the day, because I'm old. But now it's like G37 and a bunch of bullshit and Honda bullshit, and I'm just like, yeah, it's generational. It's got to be generational, because I don't get it. I don't get any of the Honda shit at all. Like, you won't catch me dead in dumb shit like this. What the fuck? That can't be real. That cannot be real. No fucking way that's real. That's good shit. Centrifugal versus roots on the Gen 3. Okay, so I have had two, both type of superchargers, centrifugal and the TVS. And I've driven many Whipple cars. Depending on how much the car is boosted, like the white car, it does lack down low a little bit. But what it lacks down low, it way makes up for it up top. I'm saying way makes up for it up top. A TVS falls flat after 6,500, 6,800 or something like that, maybe 7,000 RPMs. The centrifugal keeps pulling. It's basically a belt-driven turbo. The higher you spin it, it's still in its efficiency island. If you're looking at efficiency maps and power curves and, you know, boost curves and stuff like that, when it comes to efficiency maps, if you know how to read them. Whereas the TVS falls off the end of the earth. It goes, and then just falls off the end of the earth torque-wise. What you got to look at is the torque. It's kind of, it's flat, then it falls off. The centrifugal just the torque falls, but horsepower, it's still a straight line. You don't see much of a trail off depending on how the car is boosted. Okay. That's tire paint on a stretched tire. Okay. Punto 85. Punto 8. Yeah, 1.8. Punto 8, chico. Un candungo. Juan Resendez. Remember candungo? Yo tengo una pavita, un candungo. And I'm like, that means basically a Corona. Toyota Corona was what they would call un candunguito, back in the day. I forget the year that was the most popular in my hood, but a Corolla, you know, Corona, were these little cars that people were just, you know, 68 Corona. But I think it was like late 70s, early 80s where people were hooking up. Damn, that is so fucking clean, man. Look, I gotta admit, like, these fucking cars, the lines on these cars, I mean, that's not Ricer to me. That's fucking badass. I'd love to get a little Toyota Starlet, but it can't be too crazy. And it's got to have baby Supras. And if you don't know what baby Supras are, God love you. Let me see if I can find baby Supras. Because back then they called them baby Supra wheels. These aren't it. No, these are... Actually, that's probably about right. They called them baby Supras back in the day. Wow, look at this thing. That brings back so many fucking memories, man. Oh, this little car would terrorize neighborhoods back in my hood in Holyoke, Massachusetts. Coming at you, Holyoke, Massachusetts. Ugh. Does the Ghost Cam Fike come for free if I were to buy the N-Gage with the tune file? It depends on your configuration. It does come for free. You have to request it though. It's not automatically going to show up in your email. So if you have a configuration that we support, because certain cars don't chop and we are not going to make them chop. If we just say, yes, that's supported. No, that's not supported. Boom, you're done. Here you go. And it is for free. Hence, we do not adjust it. Holy shit, I made it to a live Alex. What's up? What's up, KC Godzilla? Some of the 2002 Corolla Rs are louder than my 3-inch X-Pipe and axle on my S197 Coyote in South Cali. It is South Cali. Batchy says, centrifugal and rev it to 8,500 for the win. You're not wrong. Just keep revving the shit out of it. Genuine Garage says, heard of the sloppy mechanic troop ideology? What is a Ford guy's thought on that? Do you have similar cost-effective ways to make power on Coyotes? I can't speak too much on sloppy mechanics, but just by the description, I don't think you can be sloppy with a Coyote. Coyote's on the delicate side, meaning you got to build it a certain way. You got to time the cams a certain way. There's certain generations that do not have a beefy bottom end, like Gen 1. Gen 2s, you can get away with murder, but you can't just like start shoving different pistons in it from different cars, not balance it, and expect it to run well because it revs so high. Fletcher Schrott says, the Honda boys came over to certain BMW platforms too. You're not wrong. Harold says, hey, Alex, I know you're probably going to drag my ass. I just bought a 2020 GT with a Roush blower. Why the fuck did you do that? The warranty! Other than getting a fuel system tune, what other supporting mods can I do to make it fast? So the good thing about those cars, the good thing about the 2020 GT with a Roush blower is you can drive it anywhere. It's super reliable. It's a great TVS rotor pack. So you can drive it anywhere and trade it in for a car that has any other supercharger. Sorry, but I'm not going to even try to put lipstick on that pig. I rolled an 86 Corolla sedan at 15. Badass. Oh, dude. Now, people used to call them Sapito, which was the 80s Corolla GTS. And they called them because they look like a little turtle. You know, people call these cars Sapito. And in the, I think it's Sapo, I think. And in the hood, these bitches were everywhere in the hood. Everywhere. And lower GTS, I think some of, no, Twin Cam. Este carro un Twin Cam. Twin Cam was like a thing, which means it made 160 horsepower instead of like 140. Twin Cam, this was, man, growing up, this was it. And then Gran Turismo came out, and they called it the Trueno, but it's a fucking Corolla. It's a Corolla. You know, they called it everything but what it was, a Corolla. Yeah, these were all over my hood growing up. Oh, man, this thing, when it came out, people hated it because they got rid of, I think, rear-wheel drive. I think this one was front-wheel drive, and this one was rear-wheel drive. Once Puerto Ricans went here, it was over. But this was, to me, kind of classic shit that you saw in the hood growing up in Holyoke, Massachusetts, brother. What's the VMP 3100 TVS going to do? It's going to make the 1200 plus horse. It's going to make good power. It's going to be comparable because I think the 3100 TVS rotor pack is comparable to anything Whipple's putting out there right now. It all depends on the air pump you're putting it in. I know Whipple is out there saying that they're making 2,000 horsepower on ship, but it's an air pump. So if the air pump is super efficient or big cubic inches, that 3100 is going to complement it. So let's say you have a 5.2. Let's say you get a 5.2 block from Ford Racing. And guys, I highly recommend getting a 5.2 block from Ford Racing. That is a beefy block when it comes to the sleeve area. You probably don't even have to sleeve it well into the 1100 horse range. Super beefy. Awesome block. Ford did a great job on that. So let's say you get a 12-5 compression, E85 or ethanol 1R fueled Coyote with big boy cams and a 3100 TVS. I can't imagine 1300 plus, maybe 1400 is out of the realm of possibility with a 3100 if it's pulleyed properly. It's going to do really well, I think. Now, I am basically shouting out the rotor pack. I'm not going to co-sign on any company. I'm not going to co-sign on any fucking company. Eaton makes a killer rotor pack, and whoever's case is designed around it is up to them. But I think the TVS rotor pack, to me, still has the best power delivery, in my opinion. Would I put it in section hate? Not unless it's a complete different company. I don't want to be into the blower wars. I don't want anyone saying, "Oh, our blower is on that car." No, I wish Eaton made a case. Just Eaton, no one else, and I would totally rock that. Juan Resendez says AE86. I love Coyote Swap. One of those, if I can make it to fit, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. But then the drifters would get really mad at you. When's Lund getting a 3.3100 TVS? He's not. He's probably not. Why? His car makes 1,300 now. Why does Senior need a 3,100 TVS? See, you guys got to understand, just because it's out there doesn't mean you got to get it. And just because it makes 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 doesn't mean it's right for you. I have told a lot of people, get a Paxton, get this. They go, why? The VMP TVS made 1,500. Are you going to make 1,500? Are you going to buy a $20,000 Coyote motor, lock the cams out, and boost it to the moon and buy a badass trans and everything to support it? No. You work at Applebee's, you work at Arby's, you work at Walmart, you work at Costco. You can't afford this, but you're buying it based on the fact that it made the most horsepower because you want to be able to open your hood and say, this can make 1,300 if I build it. Meanwhile, it has a 800 millimeter upper pulley, so you can make 10 PSI on a 3,100. That is fucking stupid. Pick a spark plug, Playa, Denso, 2-step colder, Gap 24, or NGK 6510. I think it's 1-step colder. 16 Mustang Autobrock, 8-rib, 95-pound injectors, 3.5 pulley, 6510. With a 3.5 pulley, a 6510. You don't need a Denso. I have I've had 6510s well into the 14, 15 PSI, 16 PSI range, not have an issue. So at 3.5 pulley, dude, you're fine with a regular 6510 and gap it down to like 25, 24,000s on a Gen 3. What's your opinion on the tuning school? I don't have an opinion. I don't know much about it. I don't care. It's if it's something you want to get into and get you a base knowledge of how tuning works with different platforms, I think it's good because there's nothing really else out there. But honestly, I don't know enough about it to speak on it. I don't. Huge Asshole. Nice name. Huge Asshole. HUGJASSOL. Huge Asshole. Thank you so much for that. Huge Asshole says, people always chasing numbers. I don't understand where people go, yeah, this supercharger company for the win. And I'm like, why? You make 950. You don't make as much as most, Paxton cars. You don't make as much as some VMP cars. You don't make as much as some bitch ass turbo cars on 3 cars. And you're like, yeah, this supercharger is the best. And I'm like, why? You only make 950. Well, that's because I don't want to. Okay, then you can make that power with any blower. A V3 can make that power. A Vortec V3 pulleyed properly, 20% and a 3.3 might be able to make 900 on a Gen 3. So I don't understand if you're making basic, middle of the road horsepower numbers in terms of high-end horsepower. I'm saying supercharged. 900 isn't shit anymore. It's got to be 1,100, 1,200. My Fairmont doesn't make a lot of power. It's just slightly lighter and it runs a good number. But when it comes to power, I don't give a shit. Who gives a fuck? But people that are out there saying, yeah, 900 horsepower, Whipple for the win, or VMP for the win. And I'm like, you can make that with a Paxton. You can make that with an On3. That's not crazy. Now, if you're making 1,400, I think you can talk some shit. But until then, you're just middle of the road guy. 650 horsepower on a Gen 1. Yes, that is pretty much, I don't know if he was answering another question, but on a Gen 1, on pump gas, I would not try to push the envelope in terms of rear wheel horsepower above 650. Straight Line Therapy says, appreciate it. Anytime, sir, I got you. Joseph Castellano says, thank you so much. Where did you learn to tune? Lund Racing. Lund Racing, I think the reason they wanted me to come on board with tuning is because I didn't know anything. Imagine you are a tuner or you know something about tuning and a company is going to take you on and teach you their way. Well, you're going to start saying, but I've seen this, but I've seen that. What about this? I used to do this. Normally I do that. Now you've become a problem. Now you are pushing back against the way they're teaching you how to tune. So you need to shut the fuck up and listen to what they got to say. Luckily, I didn't know a goddamn thing in terms of manipulating the software. So I just sat back and listened. Just they fire hosed me with information. I sat there and go, holy shit. I tried to take notes and I said, that's not how I learned. The way I learn is by doing. So because I had a Coyote Mustang, I started tuning on it. Fuck it. I said, let me just, if I blow it up, I blow it up. But there were certain parameters you knew you couldn't go past. Timing. Yeah, timing. No 25 degrees on pump gas ever. Hell, not even 18 degrees on pump gas ever. It was like 16 and a half, 17. And depending on the quality of that fuel in your area, it didn't even like that on 10 or 11 PSI. Startup tweaks, fueling tweaks, idle tweaks, little things that help me determine when the customer has a similar issue, like startup, like a startup dip or an idle dip or a clutch in dip or a clutch install situation. I learned all that on my own, of course, with the help of Lund Racing. But then when that job went away the first time, I started working for VMP. And I think that's where I learned the most quickly, because I knew a little bit of base knowledge. I knew how to apply some of the changes I learned in my first job to VMP customers, like stalling, right? Like Gen 1s tend to stall. Gen 1 Coyote manual TVS cars with a twin 60 throttle body tend to stall. Ended up figuring out how to fix that. Just a bunch of tweaks on my personal car. Then I needed to learn Gen 2 stuff. So what did I do? I bought a Gen 2 Mustang. That's right. I bought the red car. So I was like, that's the only way I'm going to learn if I tune on it every freaking day. Did that for a couple years. Went back working for Lund Racing. Bought a Gen 3 car because I needed to learn how to tune on Gen 3 cars. That's how I learn. I learn by doing and tuning my cars every day. I know some people can't afford that, and I get it, but I really wanted to cement myself in this industry, and it took some investment. Yeah, I ate shit for a long time paying for these bitches. Have you seen the N-Gage touchscreen start to act up? Mine is glitching badly, and I heard they're getting discontinued. The SET doesn't seem nearly as good. The SET does the same exact thing in terms of it'll log the same. If you know how to set up a configuration, it will log the same. It'll tune the same. The tune isn't any better with an SET or an N-Gage or vice versa. The tune is the same. If you know how to upload a configuration file, and I'm going to show you guys, I mean, I don't understand how you guys haven't seen this video yet, where I literally show you everything about data logging with an SET, uploading a configuration file to your shit. I can't believe half of you guys don't even like do some basic Googling, but here's a link. I put the link in the chat. That video literally tells you everything. How to upload a config to LiveLink, how to upload a config to your SET device, how to slow rev, how to log. Everything is right there, and I'm blown away that people haven't found it. They just want everything handed to them. But I think N-Gage is still going to have extra parts available, so hit them up now. Why are you waiting? Go to eMotion right now. Let me see. eMotion N-Gage. eMotion N-Gage products. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put this in the chat. And if you have an issue with your screen, you hit them up right there. Now, put in an email right now and say, my screen is fucked up, and get in there and get it fixed before shit goes downhill. The best investment you can make is on yourself. Ultimate 89. Again, three cars. I bought 3 different generations because I needed to. Now, if there's another generation Mustang coming out that has a vastly different control system, I'll probably buy that too. I need a truck at this point. I need a truck. Section 8 is not going to get driven to Bradenton to race. I need to tow that sucker there. So now I got to start thinking, should I get a Gen 1 truck, Gen 2 truck, or a Gen 3 truck? I think I'm going to go Gen 2 because I think Gen 2 is still, when it comes to reliability, parts availability, and how I want the truck to drive, I still prefer the 6R80 over the 10R80. Not that the 10R80 is bad, but I prefer the 6R. Forbidden Concepts, you're here. Are you late? This is the third Peasant chat I've done, and they're all at 9:30 on Sunday. Get with it, bro. Get your coffee, get with it, sit the fuck down, watch the show. Alex, ever had an issue with a car not reading alcohol content? It only does that unless you are not on the right tune or the tune was set incorrectly. Let's say, for instance, I send you a flex tune, but I never enabled flex. That can happen. Or you physically are not on the right tune. I've seen that happen more often than not. Google is your friend, says I'm hung so low, motherfucker. I need some help, says Neil Sukdeo. Sukdeo? I have a 13 ball 02, and how would you build that car? Turbo, build stock, bottom end. Turbo, build stock, bottom end. I don't even know what the hell you're trying to do. You need some help, but you're not telling me what you're trying to do. This is how you should phrase the question. I want to run 8s, stick. How should I build the car? I want to run 9s, stick. How should I build the car? I need some help. I have a 13 Boss 302. How would you build it? Leave it alone if you just want to drive it around. What software should I use when tuning myself? Now, to be honest, HP Tuners is good, and there's a lot of tunes in the repository or whatever they call it. Basically, they're base files that are close enough. But the problem is sometimes you got to start with a completely different base you wouldn't even think of that achieves or gives you more options to adjust on. But HP Tuners is okay if you want to tune your car yourself, having an already vetted tune. If you want to start tuning from scratch, that's going to be tough to do on HP Tuners because you're going to be doing a lot of work. You're going to be dialing all the cam tables, all the spark tables, and a lot of people, there's a lot of shortcuts to a lot of things that I'm not going to give up any info on. But after manipulating certain software, often nothing, in my opinion, in terms of my eyes, beats SCT. When I look at SCT software and where everything is populated and how it's indexed, yes, some tables are flipped because it's the job of certain people to index the file, index the table, index the function, and sometimes they're either lazy or their software is not indexing the stuff properly and the tables are flipped, meaning the top is the bottom is the top. But if you know how to read it and kind of get around it, I think you'll understand it. But to me, SCT software by far is the easiest to adjust based on how my eyes work. Whereas HP Tuners, the naming structure is not my favorite. It's not, I personally can't navigate it that well quickly because I'm a remote tuner. I need to go boom, 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 boom. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I need to get to the table quickly and fast. And I've become used to SCT because that's what I worked with the most. And that's what I prefer, in my opinion. I know this channel is primarily Mustang, but have you ever looked into the 16 Ford Falcon with a Coyote Miami motor with a 5.232 valve from 20? Yeah, it's shit, Matt Jordan. It's low compression. You might be able to get 500 horse out of it supercharged, like 550, if that. It's a complete hunk of crap, Coyote, low compression, junk ass shit. Now, you can build anything to go fast. You can take the sleeves out of it, you sleeve it, you E85, a higher compression. Yes, but as it comes stock, which is how 98.9% of you are going to keep it, I wouldn't build on one of those vehicles. And I don't like how they look, to be honest with you. I do not like how Falcons look at all from 10 to 16. It's just not my thing, you know. Let me look it up. 2010 Falcon.
Freeway, these niggas can't hurt me. I ain't heard you. Get the fuck out my fucking face.
I forget I have those things set up on those buttons. Ford Falcon, Australia, Wikipedia. Yeah, no, it's hideous. It's really, really ugly. I don't like them at all. Yeah, no, I don't like them at all. I think Chevy has better looking four-door cars, right? You know, so if you look at a Ford Falcon, it's shit. It's ugly lines. It looks like a big Fusion. It's ugly. It's awful. It's shit. I don't think it's cool. It's dumb. It's gay. Dumb shit. Gay as fuck. I don't like it. I mean, that looks okay. But it's stupid and it's gay and you should feel bad. But then you look at a Chevy SS and you're like, okay, excuse me, that's a little better. Yeah. And you could you can make that bitch chop nice. You know, if we're looking at stupid ass, trash ass, look at that. Come on. You're going to tell me you're going to choose a Falcon over that? Oh, come on. Not even close. It's not even close. I know I'm not a Chevy nut hugger, but when it comes to four-door cars, Ford screwed the pooch on that one big time. Hi, Alex. Thanks for your videos. Help me to understand a lot when it comes to data logging and tuning. Greetings from Poland. Hey, how you doing? Love me a Polish chick. You got to give me some Polish chicks over here. I need some blonde Polish chick that'll, like, you know, help me, like, you know, get the engine out of the car. Strong chick. E85 tune doesn't have alcohol percentage to flex wheel, says Patrick Lynch. He's right. What's up, Alex? Coyote swap Quam Victoria, buy a Genesis 5.0. Would you had kept the modded your old Genesis 5.0 if the aftermarket was stronger for it? No. No, it's a direct injected 5 liter that probably explodes with like 8 psi. Would I have Coyote? If I can find a Genesis R spec, whatever the hell it was called, coupe, the same exact gear I had, I would Coyote swap that motherfucker. It was a nice car, but the problem is once you Coyote swap it, I think half of the shit stops working on the dash unless I get some custom bullshit. And I did like the car had a lane departure system. It had the emergency braking. It was a cool fucking car for what it was. But I'd Coyote swap one of those in a heartbeat if I had the money. But again, it'd be tough to get rid of it. Like once I had it, I kind of own it forever. Alex, I have a 15. Okay. Alfredo Diaz says, can the HP tuners engage read alcohol content on a Gen 1 swap with Ford control pack? No. Because, okay, it'll know the content, but the way it'll never set. Yeah, it'll never set because the way the learn procedure is on a control pack, the way the learn procedure works on an OEM equipped vehicle is the fuel level. The car re-kicks the learning procedure once the fuel level, the sender, let's say you go under a quarter tank and then you fill up and it beep and it resets the counter. The Ford Racing control pack, I don't think has a way of monitoring the fuel level through the computer at all. Even if you were trying to put it in, it's just not, there is no alcohol feature. Now, you can run flex and it'll constantly be learning. It'll never lock in. So in my opinion, flex tuning on control pack vehicles is not a good idea. And don't ask me about flex fuel sensors. I don't care. No flex fuel tuning on control pack vehicles because there's no way that the car knows what the fuel level is at, and it'll never lock into a learned ethanol percentage. Can you explain free flowing exhaust? Is it just headers dumped? Oh my God, fast life, Russ. I love you. Free flowing exhaust is another way of saying cat delete because the EPA doesn't like the fucking term cat delete. So don't say cat delete. Say free flowing exhaust. Opinion on pro charging a Coyote. It's fine. You're basically, forget pro charging. Just say boost. Because it doesn't matter the brand. You can make any power on any blower, VMP, Whipple, Vortec, Paxton, or Pro Charger. You can make the whatever power with any blower. Joseph Gorell says, is there going to be any new version of the N-Gage coming out? Why is it being discontinued? I think it's parts availability. It's one of those things where coronavirus and the pandemic, slowed down the flow of parts. And I think catching up was just going to be a problem. I'm sure they were able to, fulfill a lot of the orders, but going forward, I think they saw themselves like this is going to be a problem. So they called it kind of late, like they gave us kind of a late heads up. They didn't just give us like a year heads up. It's just another company, a small company, being subjected to the issues with coronavirus and supply of parts, like parts supplying and from different manufacturers. So it's not going to be easy to run a business when most businesses that supply all these small parts to make one product keep shutting down. Vapor Fox says, Alex, does LUN support ACT devices or dead rat? What is wrong with you guys, man? What is wrong with you guys, dude? I mean, do you guys not Google? Like, I don't understand you guys not Googling. We support SCT devices all the fucking time. The ITSX, the BDX, what the fuck? At no point did we say we only support N-Gage. A lot of people just don't Google. They think Facebook is Google. Facebook is not Google. Mustang 6G is not Google. Google shit. If you go to, let's say, AmericanMuscle.com, because they're a dealer of ours. AmericanMuscle.com, right? And let me, because, I have to do this for you guys, because you guys apparently don't know how to Google. Like, it blows my mind. Look at, so we're going to go to AmericanMuscle.com, which is, one of our dealers. Okay, so RevX tuner by SCT with Lund Racing custom tune. Lund Racing X4 SF4 Power Flash tuner with one custom tune. Lund Racing Power Flash tuner with one custom tune. SCT. Like they sell the whole package. No. Let me ask Alex on his live stream instead of taking 2 seconds out of my life to know if Lund Racing supports SCT devices. Wow. Do you have any experience tuning remote mounted turbos on a Gen 1 F550? Problems with the remote turbo setup or advantages? It doesn't matter to us where the turbo is located. The turbo, Yonsei, could be located up your ass. As long as the MAF housing is in a known good spot and the O2s are in a known good spot, you can mount the turbo on a fucking trailer. I don't care where you mount the turbo. Alex, if you were going to buy an Explorer, what year would you buy and what engine? The new one, the brand new one, the ST. I started from the beginning again because I was 15 minutes behind. I'm pretty sure that was the fastest 5.0 at the moment. GT500 at the moment. Did a 9.3 or low 4. No. Eric Rowe, the quickest and fastest GT500 on the planet is owned by Evolution Performance, and it is called the Villain. Evolution Performance. I think it's called the Villain. And he ran, I think, a 9.1. Let me see if there's videos of it. I don't know if there's videos of it happening, but no, he's still 9.1. Yeah, here we go. The Villain. Here we go. Because apparently you guys don't know how to fucking Google either. You have no idea how to Google either. This took me 2 seconds. But yo, you saw it on Facebook. Boy, you guys are just dense as fuck. Love you guys, but you guys are just dense as fuck. It's on Google. It's on Facebook. There it is, guys. Still King Daddy 9.1 154. Okay, guys. So can you yeah, exactly. Lund Racing Tune. Okay, guys, can we shut the fuck up now, please? Can we stop believing everything about Facebook, please? Really, guys? Like, really? Do your Googling. Do your research. Don't be stupid. I only asked for the newer touchscreen devices. Thanks. Laughing my ass off. Oh, I understand. The newer touchscreen. Man, this thing hurts like a motherfucker. I think the ITSX or something like that, but I'm not a big fan because I think some of them don't accept cross flashing. Sometimes we use different strategies, so you might have to reach out to us. But the ones we 100% support are the RevX and the S and the X4. Period. Those are great devices. They work. Only ask for the okay. What's up, Alex? How's the family? Fucking asshole. I can't wait for Section 8 to make some content. Logging in for support tomorrow. We come back, but I think my car should be registered tomorrow. I went to one of those places that register it for you because to go to the DMV right now is ridiculous. So I should get it back tomorrow or Tuesday. And once I get it, I am doing street shit right away. 60 to 130, put ice in the trunk, and let's go. Fake book, someone says. If it's on Facebook, it has to be true, Alex. Believe it or not, some people get up and the first thing they do is go to Facebook and they go, "Oh, that's the fastest GT500 on the planet." I'm like, no, it was done over a year ago, I think, and it went 9.1. And it's still been King Daddy for a very long time. But people want to believe what they want to believe. Whatever. Damn, I thought you peasants were smarter than that. I knew they use SCT. Don't even own a Ford. Thank you, Genuine Garage. Some people just assume. Engage? Like they think we make the Engage. Now, would it be a smart thing to buy it all up and, make it ourselves? Sure, but I think a supply issue. And then you become a parts. I don't even want to speculate. It becomes a nightmare. Eric's Batchy says, any updates on GT500 DCT tuning? I know that they got access to some of the, I heard they have access to some of the DCT stuff on GT500, but until I start seeing cars launch hard on a bi-supply, like GTRs do, that's when I go, okay, there is DCT support. Because when a GTR launches, I go, that's a DCT. When I see a GTR launched like this, let me see if I have the track. When I see it launch stupid, where shit looks like it might break, that's when I go, okay, there's DCT support. Okay, guys, when you do videos, no one cares about the burnout. Stop making videos about the burnout. No one cares about the burnout. Just start it at the launch. There. When a GT500 launches like that, like that, oh my God, it's going to break an axle. That's when I say, okay, there's definitely clutch manipulation going on there. Okay, so when you see a GT500 anywhere launched like that, that's when you will know that there is DCT access. That, I mean, again, it's simple. John Lunn in the house, waking up nice and early. Actually, he's probably been up since 6 a.m. Checking in. Madman Rich says, sweet, I same chat. I can't wait to see Section 8. Be the Ripper. Be the Ripper. Eric Kirby says, Alex, is there any difference between running the fuel regulator before or after the rails for full return system relative to the pressure regulation or volumetric flow rates? No. You can mount it after the rails, before the rails. At the end of the day, you're regulating the fuel system as a whole, not like post or before or after, pre or post. So you can do it after the rails or before the rails. Tune transfers are free between devices, says John Lund. So let's say, for instance, you have an SET and you want you bought an Engage used from a friend because you heard that, whatever, you bought a used Engage and we can convert it to our firmware. As long as you're a current customer, we will transfer your files, similar exact same file. It's not going to change. It's just flashes different. And vice versa. Let's say for whatever reason, your Engage takes a shit and you need it converted over to your SET device. We'll do that for nothing. Channel 19 says that was stag mode before he caught the big break. Yeah, I mean, it sucks his car blew up. Is there anything I can do to make SET I bought for a Coyote work on an 11 GT500? Well, you have to unmarry it from the Coyote, right? And the way you unmarry it is you return the vehicle back to stock. And I think each SET device gives you the ability to unlock it 5 times. But recently, I think I've heard rumors of SET allowing you to like infinite unlocks, or that you do it yourself, meaning once you're out of unlocks, because technically, theoretically, an SET can tune 5 vehicles, not at the same time. Meaning you buy a car, tune it, you're going to get rid of it, return it back to stock. Now you have 4 unlocks left. Do the same thing, boom, 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 until you're out of unlocks. Then I think you can go to the website on SET, pay a fee, and they'll send you something that resets the unlocks to 5. Thanks. I love the show. 59 years old. Bracket racing my 18 Mustang. The info is great. Trying to inform the street racer, drag racer, and parking lot racer is a tough job. Very, very tough job. Good morning. Good morning, John Lund. Thoughts on David Gravel's 3-valve? Don't care. Do not give 2 shits. Let's move on. 2012 GT500 6R80 swap controlled by US Quick Shift 6. Why does everyone hate on the Quick 6? Justin Runyon. When you put it in drive and you floor it, does it hit the shifts right on the money when commanded? Yes or no? Mustang 73 is 93 octane tune worth buying for completely stock 2020 Mustang GT automatic transmission? No E85 here where I live. Yeah, sure. Again, the tunes that we provide are not like octane specific when it comes to pump gas. We optimize the tune. You have a 12-to-1 compression car on pump gas. So we're going to tell you this tune is good for 91 up to 93, just like stock. Stock cars have adaptive octane logic, meaning if you are on 93 and the car sees about 26 degrees of timing, or 25 because it's a Gen 3, and you go down to 91 octane and the car senses, this fuel's not that sweet, it will back down the timing and it'll see a peak of about 22 to 23 based on the fuel quality that you have in the tank. Hey Alex, you know if Ben Callum is selling stage 2 or stage 3 MTD2 D2 trans yet? No, but I know he's working on forks. He's got billet fork in his car right now that he's testing. Once that becomes live, Ben Callum is going to sell a shit ton of built D4s. And you know how many cuck ass people are going to try to get free ones? Because they want I want to rep your product, so here's a free one. And all these YouTubers are going to hit him up for free ones. I will pay. Ben Callum, once you get that trans going, I'll ship my trans to you, and I will pay you to build me a stage 3 version of the D4. Oh, man, I busted my wrist up real good. Holy shit, it's swollen. Gen 1 6R80 swap 3 valves with 331s. How's that going to be? That's going to suck. It's a 3-valve. I mean, it's a 3-valve. Ray says, what's up, Alex? Got your white 86 hatch wherever you're ready. Recently, you've been saying notch, but I remember you used to say hatch. Okay, where's it at? Ray, hit me up. Let's see where that hatch is at. I'd love me a hatch for sure. Let's see what's going on with that hatch, bitch. Hunter Walker says, I installed the CJ manifold and the short-term fuel trims are going weird at idle. LTFT are rich on the end gauge. Could it be a vacuum leak or used PMAS 1517 normal end piece for cold? Okay, no. If your long-term fuel trims are negative 23, the car is wildly rich. So that tells me a couple of things. You either have the wrong injectors or wrong parts. I mean, did it get tuned for that, Hunter Walker? It sounds like it's rich, which means you probably put parts in without them being accounted for in the tune. And Hunter Walker says it's missing a tatted idle. Of course it's going to miss a tatted idle if it's fueling improperly. Hey, Alex, how far behind do you anticipate Lund being behind tomorrow? Martin, do not expect to put in a tune order tomorrow and expect it in 2 days. That's just not how it works. You're going to have to wait. Be a patient guy. We're probably going to be behind a little bit. So be patient. Do not rush. If you got to rush and you got to make a race and you got to gap a fool tonight, sorry, you should have put the tune in 2 weeks ago. E85 is better quality than E85 is a better quality OG gas. It doesn't mean pump gas is trash. If you want to maximize your power, E85 will help, but a lot better than pump. He's on the money. High def is right on the money. Ricardo Vasquez, 06 GT shooting to make 650. Build a 3-valve or 5.0 swap. What's the most cost-effective route? Cost-effective? Shit, I think you can do it with a 3-valve. Let's say, theoretically, you drop the 3-valve, puts rods and pistons in it, lock the cams out. I think that car can make whatever you want it to make. If you put rods and pistons in it, badass rods and pistons in it. So that's probably going to be your most cost-effective route. If you go Coyote, you got to buy the Coyote, the operating system, the trans, blah, 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 blah. It's just going to be a nightmare. Not the trans, but you got to do a lot to make a 3-valve work with a Coyote in it. And I think you could just drop the 3-valve, put rods and pistons in it, good rods and pistons in it, balance it, lock the cams, stuff it back in, and it should be fine. I should do that. I should grab a 3-valve, build it, and lock the shit out, and just fucking run it, just to be a fucking shithead. But it's a 3-valve. Excuse me. Angel PR says, hey, Alex, balancer question. I ordered the wrong balancer with a 5% overdrive, and I meant to order the standard front and rear, return and get standard. Or keep it and retune. Lund tune TVS for 93. I think a 5% doesn't need a big retune. 5%, you're going to see maybe 1 pound of boost up top. So I put it in, give us some watt hits up until about 6,000, not max effort. And we'll see what the air load and the fuel quality is on 93 in your area. You might not need to do anything. For everyone asking about running 9s in an NA Coyote Fox, please look up Coyote stock. A lot of badass shifting clutch R&D. Exactly. Vapor Fox is on the money. Joseph Castellano, hope it not too bad. 16 Mustang GT boosted, got it on a few times, and then the exhaust got louder at idle. It stumbled 5,000 RPMs. Then stalls. I tap on the gas a little, thinking exhaust leak. Go look at your mass airflow sensor, mass airflow meter, or your cold air. Make sure like the filter didn't slide off or something, because if it's idling funky, it probably has something to do with how it's measuring the air coming into the cold air. This is what the peasant chat is. These YouTubers get a handout and then trash talk. I would make everyone pay. Exactly. Because you saw what happened when someone got a blower and then another company says, no, put our blower on it. And it makes 25 more horse, which does not, to me, justify switching blowers. And then optically, in terms of optics, it looks like the blower you got rid of is not good because now you got to rep the new blower. I don't want to rep any blower. I don't want to rep any company. The politics of parts suppliers becomes a fucking nightmare. And then this is the reason I don't support or I don't want to back up any power adder company. Their customers are fucking assholes, right? They pop off on some dumb shit. They become that gang mentality, us against you. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I just like the power delivery of a TVS. I just don't want to be attached to a company one way or another, because then you're like, oh, you're team that. I'm like, no, I just want to go fast and be left alone. That's literally what I want in my life. Straight Line Therapy says, love the show. Gotta go. Have a good day. I'm gonna look at a new car, says Jared Wells. 19 with a Whipple already on it with only 1,000 miles on it for $32K. That sounds like it's a really good deal. So I'd do a compression check on that car. Hey, Alex, love your channel. Sending props from Canada. Brian Bolt, thank you very much, Mr. Canada. What is E85R? So high def, E85R, there is a fuel called E85R, but I don't think it's like, there's ethanol 1R, all right? There's ethanol, and I think Real Street, I'm gonna get a FIC, I think, are dealers. Ethanol, I can't type 1R. Ethanol racing, ethanol, one ethanol, one ethanol. There we go. So this is, I think, the fuel he's talking about. One ethanol R. I think it's Real Street in Florida provides it. You can get a. If I'm gonna order, I'm gonna order 2 of these. But I'm not gonna order little ones. Just give me 2 of these and put a pump on this bitch, and all my cars will run on this stuff. It is wild. It stinks. It makes you cry, but the cars run really, really good. No MBTE, no nitromethane or lead. One ethanol is specifically formulated for ultra high performance racing engines. R was designed to be used in forced induction nitrous and NA engines requiring race fuels with an octane rating of 116 or higher. R has power drag radial cars with small displacement engines running 6 seconds and a quarter mile, which is, I think, that's Supra. So yeah, this is a pretty badass fuel, and I think Lund Racing exclusively runs ethanol 1R or 1 ethanol R. Sorry. Shithead lifestyle. Nick Pond says shithead lifestyle. Alex, I have a Gen 3 and would I see any benefits by changing the air intake? I'm thinking of getting a Steeder closed air box. You'll see some benefit, especially in colder environments. You'll see a benefit. Do not expect a 20 horsepower gain. It's not going to happen. Stop trying to make it happen because it's not going to happen. But I think the car will be a little more responsive. It'll sound cool and it'll make a decent amount of top end power, but don't expect a 20 horsepower gain on just that mod. Leave it to Beaner in the house. Says, what's up, dropping in. He's in love all of a sudden. Leave it to Beaner's in love. Jared Wells, that's what I'm thinking. Seems to be a little too good to be true. I don't know what they're talking about. Does it measure the E85 content? Okay, I don't know. They're talking. Matt King. Hey, Alex. I got a 2018 GT manual. Looking to get an On3 kit. What is better, the single or the twin? And what power level should I expect the transmission issues? Much love. Let's say, for instance, you have, E85, 4 Innovations fuel system, I think either turbo kit is going to be fine. The single does very well. The On3 single is very good. I've tuned it and I'm like impressed at the kind of power it makes, 14 PSI and up. The twin turbos also make really, really good power. You have the potential of making over 1,000 easily. Both of them, you can have great peak power potential. I don't think one is bigger over the other. I think it's how you want it to look under the hood. Do you want, God damn, this wrist is swollen. Let me see. Yeah, it's swollen right there. It all depends on how you want it to look under the hood when you open the hood. So, at power levels, let's say you have a 10R80, anything over 800 or 750 is like the magic number for the 10R80 stock. Then it starts to have slipping issues. It doesn't shift when it's commanded to shift, and it's time for clutches at that point, 700 to 800. 6R80, similar, but I think the 6R80 will last longer at that power level until the forward planetary explodes and takes out your complete transmission. So 10R80 at about 800 wheel, you should be good to go for a long time. Joseph Castellano says, thanks for the advice. I am tuned by Lund. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being a fan and a customer. Hey, Alex, anyone ever made the equivalent of FTW purple since they stopped producing it? They tried, but no one ever came close to producing an equivalent of FTW purple, like at all. The family says, should I upgrade valve springs for comp cam stage 3s on a Gen 2? And which kit would you get? The pack, what is it? The pack springs? Pack, I think it's like 1, 2, 3 springs, something like that. Pack 1, 2, 3 springs, I think. Yeah, I think, or the 1, 2, 3, 4X or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, I think the pack. Look, honestly, what I would do is I would talk to someone like L&M. I would hit up an engine builder because that's honestly what they're there for. I'd hit up an engine builder and say, hey, or anyone that does any kind of head work and say, look, I have a Coyote. I want to put some badass cams in it, and I really don't want valve flow to be an issue at really high RPM. What springs do you recommend? And I'm sure they're going to mention the PAC springs, PAC. Top Scene says, where's the disco ball? It's chilling. I don't want to turn it on today. I'm just not feeling the disco ball right now. I have a 19 GT 3-liter Whipple 1050Xs. What force system and pumps do you recommend for around 800 rear wheel horsepower? As I mentioned early in the show, 4 Innovations fuel systems, you go to level 1 and you get 4 Innovations fuel system, level 1 or level 2. Level 2 is triple, so I think I would do a level 1. So let's Google together because apparently I have to tell people how to Google. 4 Innovations, I typed in 4 Innovations level 2. And there it is, 4innovations.com. All right, so we're going to go to 4 Innovations. We're going to click on Ford. We're going to go to Mustang GT. Then we're going to go to GT 18 Plus. What year is your fucking car? Let me see. 19. So you have a 19 Mustang. So 18 Plus. fuel system packages. Wow, Google is your fucking friend. L1 dual pump, and right here it tells you what the cars actually. Right here it tells you what horsepower it's up to 800 fuel, under 800, up to 800 wheel. The $1,800 version is the 800 to 900. Now, I've seen fuel systems with two 274s right here, two 274s do well, you know, but you're gonna pay a little extra money. You're gonna add two, actually plus $115 for both of these pumps, and I think you should be more than good. And you have all these options: the filtration media, the fuel filter upgrades, systems options, and the tools. So 4innovations.com is your friend, and so is Google. Google is also your friend. Word Alex, I'm not impressed with GT500s. Bitcho, I use Facebook to sell tuning and other products. Leave me be. I get that. Trust me, I get it. John Walton says, hey Alex, you tuned my 13 GT Stang. Don't say Stang, just say Mustang, please. And I was wondering who you recommended to my 13 non-turbo flex fuel GDI Focus. It does that does just as good a job as Lund Racing. Oh, good luck, man. The problem with us is people get used to our quality. And they buy another vehicle. I'll turn this the other way. It's fucking shining in my face. They buy another vehicle and they go, man, I wish I could find the Lund Racing of this, the Lund Racing of Hellcats, the Lund Racing of blah, 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 because they get used to the quality. And that's really tough. I'm going to be honest. That's really tough. And we can't tune everything because we'd pull our hair out, and I don't have any hair, but we would pull our hairs out because we're busy enough with Mustang. Then we introduced F-150 into it, and people started racing trucks, and that exploded, right? So imagine taking on anything else. But to be honest with you, I don't know who you can compare the quality, the turnaround time, the customer service, and the quality of the product and the tuning services. I don't know. I'm not saying there isn't any. I just don't know of any other company like Lund Racing that is able to achieve what we can in other platforms remotely. There might be. I just don't know of any. Alex, I modified an OEM cold air intake to open air conversion, and I saw 15-wheel increase on the dyno over the stock airbox with a brand new filter. Yes, it was hood closed. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds like it can happen for sure. Yonce 50 is, how cool is Rebecca Starsky? I didn't really have much interaction with her. She was mainly doing her own thing. I mainly interacted with Carrie Tatarka, Joe Goodnow, Justin, but I didn't really interact with her that much. Hunter Walker says, Brandon gave me the tune for the LU47 CJs and 65 throttle body. I have a 67, but he said that's fine. He's right. You're fine. I think that's where I goofed, was I used the normal non-CJ. I think where I goofed was I used the normal GT non-CJ PMAS cold air intake end piece where MAF goes. Did the PMAS Hunter Walker come with its own mass airflow sensor? Because if it came with its own mass airflow sensor, straight line therapy, that makes the PMAS a non-tune required PMAS. If you're using the stock factory mass airflow sensor that came with the vehicle in the PMAS housing, that is a tune required PMAS. Vincent Murdala says, where's Lund for the G8s? Oh man, G8s are badass cars too. Again, four-door V8s. Chevy's got the lock on them things. CTS V3. Come on, man. Chevy's got the lock on those cars. CTS V3. Four-door V8. I mean, if you're a Ford guy and you don't like this, something's wrong with you. If you're a Ford guy and you think this is whack and gay, something is wrong with you. That's when I say Ford does not have absolute anything in the four-door V8 market. And then you look at a G8, just, you know, I mean, come on, Carlito. It wasn't even turned on, Carlito. It wasn't even turned on. Yeah, Ford does not have shit on Chevy or GM with the four-door V8 market at all. Well, the 18 stock airbox will fit in a Gen 1 Mustang. Dude, you can make anything fit anything. If you want direct bolt-on that you don't have to do any modifying, you're not a car guy. You got to trim, cut, fuck, suck, 2 fingers in, upward motion. Get it to fit. Get it to fit. It's not a direct bolt-on. If it's not, a lot of people go, oh, it's not a direct bolt-on, I'm not going to fuck with it. So don't call yourself a car guy if you don't modify shit a little bit. E-Rock says, I'd rather have nothing then. Okay, then have nothing. Get out of the game. Do RC cars. I agree. I'd take an SS over a Charger all day. Absolutely. G8s are fucking turds. Okay, they're fine. So are Mustangs in stock form. And then all of a sudden you start fucking with them, they get happy. Okay, someone sent me... See, he's sending me a picture and I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. I don't know what the sensor looks like, dude. I have no idea what the sensor looks like. I gotta wear fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. You should have a drop with Pachanga from Carlito's Way. No, I only got the heavy duty one. I only got heavy duty, and that's when he was in the hood.
Asshole. Oh, yeah. Heavy duty.
Hey, Alex, I know you are against porting, but I have a Gen 3 R blower, and it is maxed out on boost. Do you think it's worth porting it? No. No. You have a Gen 3 R blower, and you have a 20% lower and a 2.4 upper, and you want to make more power? It's time to put a 200 shot of nitrous on it. It will love it. Put nitrous on it. I highly recommend. If your motor's built, you don't think Section 8 is gonna get a 200 shot? If that thing goes 790, 780, I'll fucking 200 shot in that bitch. Go 760 or 50. The Scat Pack is a badass 4-door too. I gotta wear fucking diapers, says Paul Monaco. CTSV or FAGGO shit, Alex. Love you. Yeah, okay. CTSV. Guys that hate CTSVs are poor. Because CTSVs are fucking sexy. Now there's oh Jesus.
Even turn on. It's something else, man.
I mean, if you got the money, this is a badass, alternative. Then this is the only way you would think a CTSV is peasant shit, if you can swing that. If you can swing that, yeah, CTSVs are peasant shit, or gay. But this thing, this is like panty dropper, 4-door. Yeah, I mean, this is panty dropper heaven right here. Damn, that thing, badass. I'm at a crossroads, Straight Line Therapy says. I want to learn how to tune. Should I build my LS Sonoma or get a Coyote? The Coyote is much more expensive. LS Sonoma. Don't fuck around. I sent that, my bad. I was just trying to see where my world has gone wrong with the fuel trims. I've been at it all week. I don't know what sensor is in it. You're showing me the outside. I don't know what sensor is in the mass airflow sensor. Who? Take the fucking mass airflow sensor out of the fucking PMAS and tell me if it's a stock one or the fucking one provided by PMAS. Holy shit. You know how many times people go, I love when people go, hey, Alex, I got LU-47s. I go, okay, do me a favor, take the injector out and show me the tip of the injector. And they do this. They show you, check this out. Then the next email I get is this, People go, oh, here's a picture of my injectors. I'm like, what? Yeah, Alex, here's my injectors right here. I don't see any injectors. No, right here. Look, Alex, my injectors. Just look, it's right there, Alex. I don't know why you don't know what I have. I don't get it. You can't spot what I have with these photos? Alex, look at my injectors. I know they're LU-47s. I bought them from American Muscle 3 years ago. Look at my injectors. I can't see your injectors, motherfucker. I can't see your injectors in any of those photos. Stupid. I love it when people are like, oh, look at my injectors, and it's an engine bay pic. Stupid. Fuck out of here. I drove my friend's new BMW M5 with just a tune, a resonator delete, and the thing is a badass, just under 700 all-wheel horsepower. That's a cool car. OEM mass airflow sensor, says Hunter Walker. Okay, so then you either put the wrong injectors in it, because if if Brandon sent you a PMAS LU-47 Cobra Jet tune with a CJ65 or 67, you should not have to modify anything. It should trim within 7 to 10% at worst. Oh, shit. They're in the picture, says Eric Patchy. Yeah, they're in the picture. Yeah, or this is my favorite. They go like this. Here we go. Hey, send me a picture of your injector. And they go like, they go like this. I'm like, send me a picture of your injector. Hey, hold on. And it's like, hey, there, Alex. Okay, what the fuck am I looking at? You know, they go to the American Muscle site and they go, Alex, I got 47s. And I go, show me a picture of the injectors. And they go, here they are. I go, no, I need a picture of your injector. Your injector. And I want to see the bottom tip here where the fuel comes out. Your injector. And again, let's talk about injectors real quick because you motherfuckers, again, if you Google shit, because, you know, I'm such a badass, I've covered this topic. My channel, it's slow right now. It's super slow in terms of the. Let me see. I'm gonna search my channel for injectors. God damn it! Let me go to my channel, videos, and I'll type in. How can I search my videos? Here we go. Injectors. Okay, perfect. This is the best video ever made right here. Bias ply fronts arrived and how to tell different injectors apart. Probably worded terribly because I am Puerto Rican at the end of the day. But let's fast forward because I'm so, okay, this is what you motherfuckers do all the time. What injectors in there? And this is what you do to me. This is what you do to me because it's in my personal hell. You show me that as if I'm supposed to know what the fuck that is.
You guys can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Let me zoom in on this bitch. And again, if you guys are asking what kind of camera am I using, it is a Samsung S7.
There you go.
I'm not fancy schmancy like that.
Exactly. Now, then I lay them out on a table because I'm so fucking badass and I show you the fucking difference. What injectors are these? Just based on the physical appearance, can you tell what injector is what? Some people say, well, I know these are ID 1050s based on the hat. You mean the spacer? Or ID 1000s based on the hat? You mean the spacer? All of these are different, and I'll tell you where and why. Again, I covered this in all my. I love when people go, Alex, where's your video? And I take 2 seconds, search my own shit, and it's done. Now, can you guys tell which one is the 47, which one is the 56, which one is the ID 1000 based on appearance? Absolutely not. 9 times out of 10, this guy installed. This is all you see in the car. So when people tell you, well, I looked at your injectors and they're not ID 1000s. Okay, so guys, this is an ID 1000. This is a 56, aka 1314 GT500 injector. Remember, this is how they look installed. This is, I can tell by down here. This is stock. This is a stock bone. This is a bone stock Coyote injector. This is an LU47, I believe. Yep, see more holes? So this is a 47-pound injector. Okay, I'm not going to tell you which injector I'm going to put up to the camera. And can you tell me which injector is which? What's this one? What's this one? It's it's the same.
What's this one?
Oh, that's
exactly.
A
you cannot tell by looking at the injector from the outside what is what.
Thank you. Oh man, if only Alex ever covered this subject. If only Alex ever told us how to identify injectors. Oh my fucking God, I've covered everything on my channel. I have a VMP Gen 2R. Can I go 63 millimeter? I have a 1050X. Nah, Siley. Just asking because I'm in fucking Colorado. I mean, not on not on Pumpcast, no. Holy shit, the chat's going crazy. Slow down. Holy shit, what's happening? Hey Alex, I have a Gen 2 Coyote swap, 96 GT car has Forge OPGs. Forge OPGs? Oh, you can make 1,000. What fuel system and blower combo would you recommend before going fully built motor? What's safe horsepower? Gen 2 Coyote swap, 96. So you can go up, you can get like a VMP Gen 2 or Gen 3. You can have E85 in it if you can swing it. And, you know, the proper fuel system. And it's going to be good to 850 to 900 ruble horsepower. In terms of building it, if you want to make anything over 900 consistently, which is way too much fucking power and you'll probably blow it up anyway, I would get at least rods and pistons and sleeves on the block, in my most humble of opinions. Morning, Bicho, says Oscar Diaz. Have you ever been on the 4GT or the newers or olders? Have you ever been in a 4GT newer or older? No, I've never been in one. No, I know John Lund had access to one, and I never even got in it. Dakota has driven it. I was kind of jealous about that, but I have not driven an older or newer GT500. Aftermarket auto shifter for 11 to 12 GT. Oh fuck, I forget the company that Power by the Hour uses, but if you go to PBH, aftermarket auto shifter, Hesham Aman, why do you want an aftermarket auto shifter? It's automatic. You put it in drive. Why do you need an aftermarket auto shifter for an 11 to 12 GT? Because 11 to 12 GTs are PRND 321, I think, right? As opposed to 13 to 14 that are PRNDS. Can you do the Cuban team member impersonation again? I don't know. Fuck out of here. It's too early for that. I love watching your old shit just to see if I've missed any knowledge. Thank you. Yeah, some old shit is super knowledgeable. And that's when I was learning it. And at the same time that I learned it, bam, let me put it out there on video. And people go, hey, Alex, do you know how to data log an SET? I'm like, did you go to my page? I didn't see anything uploaded in the last week. Really? Really? You want me to upload the same fucking video every week? I want select shift. Heshman Aman. Then you need a 13 to 14 computer. Why not get a 13 to 14 shifter? Why not get a 13 to 14 shifter? Actually, I don't think you need a 13 to 14 computer. I think you can do any computer and you get select shift, but you have to tune it like a 13 to 14. Again, the tune has to change to know that select shift is even an option, and you got to wire that in. So just get a 13 to 14 stock auto shifter. What type of people are worse? Those who talk crank horsepower or those who talk about what their car could make if they lived at sea level? I think I'm really happy at the Coyote Swap forums. The Coyote Swap forum I like the guys that are in there. Once the Turbo Godzilla came out and then the Supercharged Godzilla that made like 1400, people were like, so you're telling me a 454 cubic inch motor with a big air pump on top of it makes that power flywheel? That's not impressive. And I'm like, thank you. God damn it. You're telling me a 450 cubic inch motor that is fully built to the hilt with the compression and the rocker system, the heads, all this shit that makes 1400 I'm supposed to be impressed when stock Coyotes with blowers are making 1100 wheel stock motor. VMP did a couple. We've done a couple 1,000 horsepower setups and twin turbo. And I know the Godzilla made twin turbo 1,000 or 1,200 flywheel, which again, I proved 3 weeks ago that there's like 80 Coyotes that do that, bone stock. So I'm just blown away that there are nut huggers that are just all up in arms about a motor they will never have. It's almost like cheering for a baseball team and saying the word we, or a football team, we. If you're one of those guys that sees Alabama play and you're a fan and you say we beat, I go, you're a fucking retard. You're an absolute retard. You're something's wrong with your head. There is no we. If you don't own a Godzilla that makes 1,200, there is no we. It is they. It is it. It is the. But you guys go, we beat the Yankees. We beat the Patriots. No, you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. You're a fan. Stay being a fan. So those guys are the worst. The collective we Fox Body guys, we small block Ford guys, we Coyote guys. Yeah, they're just fucking stupid. They low-key Chevy guys, 100%. Come on to my house and we can take a look, says Tyler Hornsby. I don't wrench on the car. I'm dead. Still trying to figure out my CJ, dude. I can do. Measuring the horsepower as a crank is like measuring your dick starting from your butthole, starting from the back of your neck. Really? Leave it to Beaner. Nick Vasquez says, if I install blow my ass mufflers, if I install blow my ass mufflers, OPG and crank sprocket, can I make 1,000 wheel without maxing out my credit card? God bless your patience, Alex. Thank LS or thank LS. Blow my asses. I'm gonna try to private label some blow my asses. I'm like a Corsa. Hey Corsa, do me a favor. Can you private label BMAs What's BMAs? Blow my asses. Blow my eardrums. Stay being a fan on the sideline. Exactly. Stay being a fan, man. It's all good. Just don't get mad. Like, okay, I own 2,000 horsepower cars. I physically own them. And then I own two S550s. One is NA, runs 11, low 11s, and the other one is supercharged. So I can say you know, but when you have a Corolla S, because you're like, well, I'm gay, but I don't want to be that gay. So I'm going to have a Corolla with a red S on it so I don't look like a total queer boy at Publix. Ooh, nice Corolla. It's an S. Stands for suck. And then you go on a forum and you start going, Godzilla is better. Godzilla is better. And I'm like, get up, go to your garage, open it up, and see what you got going on. And then realize you're one of those guys. Unless you got that shit, you can't talk that shit. Huge asshole says, haha, I hate the Wii. Fucking great. I get it that the 18 air box won't bolt in. I just haven't seen how it fits. Maybe I will build a box around my Steeda intake. That's not a bad idea. I don't want to be that gay. Like the Corolla S is hilarious to me. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, it's an S. You're still gay. It doesn't matter. It's an S. Oh, it's twin cam. Get the fuck out of here. You wearing Get the fuck out of here with your Corolla S having ass. I mean, hey baby, I want to buy a Corolla. Okay, honey, you know, we need something to take Timmy to school. But I don't want to be really gay, so can we get an S? I don't know, babe. We gotta watch your finances. Well, I mean, can I get a red S so I don't look like a total queer boy at the parking lot? You totally look like, who the fuck puts black wheels on a Corolla? Fucking kill yourself. And those are the guys that talk the most shit. Like, they talk the most shit. I'm like, wait a minute. You can't talk any shit with your Corolla S having. Shut up. Oh, it's wonderful. I want a TRD Corolla. Exactly. 84 Chevy Citation 2. Yeehaw. First time on the live chat, 13 GT manual. Your recommendations. What is the max wheel horsepower NA and what is the max wheel horsepower power adder having a stock block? The highest NA stock block stuff I've seen has been Jeremiah Camp's car, like 480 wheel. That's the one FTW fuel, running lean, about to blow up. Boosted, I wouldn't go much over 720, 750. The stock bottom end Gen 1s are not happy at that power level. The thing people don't know is that the Corolla S is actually really fast. It's really not. It's oh, you mean that's what they say? You imagine you're at a barbecue and you're wearing, you know, your dad's shorts and your New Balances and you're like, yeah, got a Corolla S. You know, guys, it's a prototype or it's the first year made and they're really fucking fast. I think I can beat your Caravan with it. And the Caravan rapes your shit. Hey, Alex, any idea how a bolt can make its way inside an MT82? I found one inside rubbing the flywheel and I have no clue where it came from. Should I be worried about it or send it? Check that any of your clutch bolts didn't come loose. That's usually the only place it can come in if it's in the bell housing. Why can't I adjust my gear ratio on my SCTX3 with a Lund tube? 07 GT500. I was able to adjust it before going to Lund. Low horsepower GT500. Email us and say, hey guys, can you give me a tune with open options? And then we will check the open options box and then you can adjust your gear ratio on your end. Why do you need to adjust the gear ratio on your end and tire size if you gave us the right tire size and gear ratio? Answer that question. Enrique Salinas, my Corolla is full bolt on. Blowing them off in the weeds. Did you make a decision on what tires to put on the red car? Who's your CO7s? I don't know yet. The tires are gone. I went out to the concrete area and the car did not hook at all. The tires are gone. I looked underneath. They're fucking gone. So it is time to get a bias ply on the car and just try some street shit just for the hell of it, just for content. I don't know yet. It's probably going to be who's your CO7? Let me see. I need something that's semi-street friendly because they will they will pop you here for having no tread on the tires. So you have to have some tread on the tire, and it has to be a drag rated. Oh, here we go. This is the, is this the CO7 right here? I think this is the CO7. So I'm gonna have to look at it, and it does have some tread. So I guess this is how they get away with saying it's got tread, but it is a DOT. So I'd give it a shot for sure. I'd give it a shot just to see, but I want to do street stuff. I want to do some street stuff. So $233 per tire, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. Okay. Dad shorts and New Balances, exactly. What's the best TVS for 700 horsepower wheel? Any. Honestly, I like the Gen 2 R from VMP, which they don't make anymore. Even the Gen 2 was fine. But the Roush Gen 2 is super available and just as good as the VMP Gen 2 or Gen 2R. Another Godzilla question. I threw a cold air intake on my Corolla S. Thing fucking rips. JJ Rodriguez. Hey, Alex, what do you think about the new 6.8 liter Mustang? There is no 6.8 liter Mustang. Show me the 6.8 liter Mustang, JJ Rodriguez. Show me a link where there is a 6.8 in a Mustang right now. Until there is, I can't tell you anything about it because it's not a thing. What do you think about the 6.8 liter Mustang? I don't know. There is none. When there is one, I'll tell you about it. Hey, your Hyundai was gay, but it was kind of quick. It was gay, and it was kind of quick. It would get way ahead of a stock Coyote, and then the Coyote would reel it in a little later. Alex, is the F-150 10R80 different from the Mustang 10R80? Because my experiences is different. It seems different. Straight shit. Yeah, they're both shit. It's more of the calibration, but I think they're the same generally. I don't think there's a huge difference in 10R80s from truck to Mustang on Gen 3s. You're fucking lucky you have converters and everything. You have to have converters and everything here. Move, man. Fucking move, man. I wouldn't live. If this state started mandating emissions, cats, and all that dumb shit, I will move out of the state and I'll move to a state that lets me do whatever the fuck I want. Bet me on that shit. What are the headers on your couch? Those are Holley turbo headers. They're like $300. They're cheap. I bought them cheap. I'm like, in case I do go turbo with the red car or the Fairmont or anything like that, I'll use those guys. Some kid over the summer with a Hyundai Genesis Coupe with a Cafe Bustelo exhaust really thought he fucked up the streets. He had to take him to Applebee's. Oh my God, poor kid. Alex, you have any recommendations of shops to use in Long Island, New York? I don't know anything about Long Island, New York. I know that Evolution is down that way. I know that there's a tuner on Connecticut, but I don't know anything about Long Island, New York, to be honest with you. Matthew Gray says, you dynoed a Gen 1 on your channel that made 488 rear wheel horsepower before E85, I believe. No, it was full everything. It had FTW purple, everything. That was Jeremiah Camp's car. One mean 50 says, what do you think about the 6.8 liter Mustang? There is none. When there is one, I'll tell you what I think about it. Matthew, just leave the chat, bro. Exactly. I mean, it's why isn't Pending Disaster hating on Matthew Gray? There is no 488 before E85. It was E85 or some kind of ethanol fuel that allowed that car to do what it needed to do. Wow, I'm out an hour and a half and I'm still cranking. So I'm going to stay here because there's 420 people on. So just keep it cranking for a little bit longer. FTW was La Luz. FTW, man. Boy, FTW, they don't make it anymore, I don't think. Let me see. 2015 was the last time I heard anything new about, people on forums talking about FTW purple, man. 2013, yeah, new fuel with impressive results. Like everything was like, wow, this thing is badass. And then it just kind of went away. Again, politics were probably involved. People were accused of stealing formulas and one place went out of business and this and that. But if you got this, man, this is like, and I hate using the term legendary because it's overused. Like, people say like, oh, last night at the bar at Smoky Bones was legendary. Shut the fuck up. Unless you got your dick sucked by the hot waitress somewhere, it wasn't legendary. And this shit was just mean, bro. This was just like, it was even cool. It was even cool, product placing, it was just like, badass. It had a skull and like, we run this shit and people were testing it on regular E85 versus this. And I'm like, damn. And it just went away. It just straight up It just straight up went away, man. Man, that was, look at the logo. Logo's cool as fuck, man. Damn. You know, the good old days when you see cars going, you know, way into the sevens and it smelled like grape and you're like, wow, those days are over. Best fuel I've ever seen. Best fuel I've ever seen. The red car, because the stoic on the fuel was like 8 something. The red car made 80 more horsepower without any tune changes. Same boost than E85. It was like explosively good. It's like, oh my God, this thing's amazing. And you know, it had nitro methane in it. You're behind it idling and you're crying. You're like, oh, this fucking fuel is wonderful because your eyes are fucking watering from the fumes. It was just, what a great time between 2015 and 2017 that fuel was popping. Why isn't it a thing anymore? Can anyone tell me? Can any fuel person tell me? Can I interview someone from FTW? Can I interview people that were involved in that shit back then? Because I, to this day, have not come across a fuel that had that much hype, that had that much performance, that had the cool smell, that had all that push behind it, and then it just went away. Did you hear about the new all-wheel drive Mustang coming out? I did not. What do you think about the new 6.8 liter Mustang? Fucking asshole. Mustang Magic in Long Island says huge asshole. That's a funny sentence. Hellion Sleeper is my favorite, says AC469. Hell yeah, keep on cranking, man. I'm waiting for my 5R55 to blow up. That smell you get at the track with that was unbelievable. When you'd go down and you're like, bro, why does that car smell like purple grape fucking goodness? And it was flying. It was so fucking cool. Midnight had a Gen 1 NA going low 10s on FTW. Yep, FTW was the shit. Real speed on Long Island as well. Okay, Alex, I got a tune from you a month ago on cars having issues. I believe it's a sensor or a phaser. I'm getting 8 codes. Misfire codes looks like you're getting. Everything but misfire. PO300, PO304, P316. Art, did anything change between the time I sent you the tune? Because if it wasn't running, did you put the tune in and then it progressively got worse? Because that's not a tune issue. That's a mechanical issue. But those are misfire codes. Anything PO3 is a misfire code. If you have like a PO315, you need to do a crank relearn. Probably had nitro in it. What do you think it could be? What do you think it could be? It could be stumped. It's a misfire code apparently. So you got to look into what you changed recently. Nothing's loose. It's not taking in any unmetered air. You don't have an O2 sensor going out. Did you change the clutch recently? Anything like that. Nitro meth. Haha K, 6.8 liter Mustang. Where the fuck did it come from? It came from Windsor. The Windsor motor plant announcing that they're going to make 6.8s for F-150s. And then in a press conference, they said, is this going to be in the Mustang? Or is this going to be a motor that... This is... The question was interesting because the reporter lumped in F-150 and Mustang. The reporter says, is this an engine you're going to put in F-150 and Mustangs? And the guy goes, yes. Now, he didn't elaborate. He could have gone, yes, as in F-150, but not Mustang, because a 6.8 liter Mustang... Okay, let's say, for instance, let's speculate. Let's say you're going to put a 6.8 liter in a Mustang. How are you going to get around CAFE standards? How are you going to get around the fuel economy standards? Is it going to have a gas guzzler tax? Is the gearing in the trans going to be so silly to get around the gas guzzler tax to offset, you know, for the displacement of the vehicle? I just don't think lineage-wise is a smart move. But if Ford does it, performance is going to be good. I don't think performance is going to be an issue. Efficiency and getting around CAFE standards, I think is going to be the rub. What do you think about the new 5.4 Mustang? I heard that engine is coming back, says Paul Monaco. What new ambient air does Matt 760 have? The PMAS. Good old-fashioned PMAS. Look, it's cold now. It's cold now. Matt 760 gets it. Mr. Anderson, Matt Anderson. He's like, well, in the summertime, I'm going to run the closed air intake. Stita, and we dial that in. And then it's cold, and he's doing roll races. Well, he's going to put an open air element in it, and it's going to perform a little better because it's open and it's cold outside. It is cold because the ambient air is cold. So it is now an ambient air intake because it's cold outside. But if it's hot outside, he's going to put on the Stita closed air box. Good morning, Alex. Says Ashley Fox in the house. Ashley Fox. Too bad she's lesbo. I can't even see her. I can't even like see her face. I'm trying to get a good look at Ashley Fox, but it don't matter. She ain't looking for no penis. You know what I'm saying? Nope, I haven't done anything with the car since the tune is only doing it on one side. It's knocking very loud. That's not good. Check your O2 sensors. Make sure that short-term fuel trim bank 1 and 2 are actually moving. Would you recommend a drive shaft and axles on an NA 2016 E85 with some basic bolt-ons? Yeah, if it's manual, sure. I need one because I'm not going to launch on the trans brake at the track with a stock drive shaft and axles, and the red car has stock drive shaft and axles at the moment. Are they going to get rid of the independent rear suspension too? I mean, they're going to go back to push rod. They're going to go back to throttle body injection. You know, the big single injector spring on the top of the ship. My wrist is super swollen. Holy shit! Wow, my whole hand is swollen. And they're going to basically, they're going to go back to A9L computer. The A9L computer, by the way, guys, exclusive right now. Right now, exclusive. I'm going to let you know that this is going to be the new operating system for the new Mustang, powering the 6.8 liter mini Godzilla, if you want to call it. So, guys, the A9L exclusive. This is a YOLO douchebag exclusive. The A9L is coming back. Get ready, tuners. A9L time, baby. Because honestly, that's about all you need to run a Godzilla. The 4-door Mustang is coming. Hopefully, it's not shit. It's probably shit. Do you recommend stock 2018 cold air intake with a drop-in filter or Steeder closed box? Out of those two, probably the Steeder closed box. Depends on your mods, though. If you have a stock manifold, stock header, stock, leave the cold air stock. Hi Dev says, hey Alex, what do you expect from having sex with no condom? Awesome orgasms. Insanely awesome orgasms. I like Mat 760 and fresh kicks. Alex, order a drive shaft first, the red car on a live stream. Alex, order a drive shaft first, the red car on a live stream. Don't believe the hype that 6.9 union president is out on his to lunch on his claim. He likes to create hype. No way that's going into a Mustang. That's what I feel. I didn't react. Everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, guys, relax. And he retracted that statement. Throttle body injection, 6.8, C6 transmission, A9L, and some leaf springs. New Mustang. Come, actually, guys, I got a spy photo of the new Mustang. Guys, check out the new Mustang exclusively from a YOLO douchebag right here. Here we go. 1 horsepower, 6.8 liters of shit comes out of his ass every mile. So that's 1 mile of shit every 6.8. This is the GT. And let's look for the Shelby. Where's the Shelby? Here it is. Shelby, the new Shelby Mustang, 2022 Shelby Mustang, GT, and the V6. We're here. It's here, baby. It's here. Fuck out of here. 6.8 would gap a Camaro, but it's more embarrassing when the Coyote does it for the Chevy lads. Oh my God, Hunter Walker. I appreciate the new Sunday show. It's the show time. I can catch it. It's a good time. I got 400 people watching. That's pretty good. For the red car, fuck, I'm retarded. I'll order a drive shaft. Online? Nah, I'm not going to order online. Fuck all that. Why would I do that? It's just like, hey, here, go to anywhere. G4s, DSS, anybody. I want a drive shaft. We're going back to the alphabetical cams, dude. I can't wait to get twisted wedge heads, B cam, and then the extra long push rods, and then, adjust my valves every 2 fucking passes. Because according to Frank Perdomo, every single small block Ford needed to have the lashes adjusted all the time. I said, what? What the fuck did you say? I don't know any hydraulic roller cam that needed the valves adjusted on he goes, I needed the lash adjusted all the time. I'm like, who built those motors? What year were you road racing in? Ivan D says, what is they made for the 6.8 pushrod torque to move out the 4-door Mustang? That is, imagine they do a 4-door Mustang and they do a 6.8 just to get that thing going forward. If you port this asshole, it will make 17 horsepower. All right, Alex, gonna go catch the Pats pre-show. Great show as always, and catch you next time. Okay, guys, it's getting close to the time there. You start watching football, you start getting your chips ready. So that's why I do a Sunday show early. So before you pregame, you can, hang out with me here. So thanks for everyone that tuned in. There was an hour and 45-minute show today. I had a bunch of fun. Talked about a bit of everything. Mostly injectors, how people don't know how to Google shit. and the 6.8 liter Mustang that probably isn't going to be, because you guys react to everything on Facebook. And I showed you that there is a GT500 that runs 9.1, and it did it like over a year ago, and it still hasn't been beat. So for everyone else that tunes in to this channel, Tuesday I'll have the regular paid deal going. I just wanted to get a weekend show in, and hopefully we can reconvene on Tuesday and have a regular chat, and hopefully the questions are less retarded, because it was pretty much retarded today. That's why I leave a whole day for just the peasant chat. It was a good time. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Enjoy.